Okay, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me and see me?
Yes.
Excellent. Good evening, welcome.
Good
Okay.
evening.
Okay, let's just wait for about 2 minutes for the other students to join. Let's see who still needs to join us. Okay. Good evening, welcome. Okay, all right. Thank you so much for thank you so much for your attention on Saturday. So today we will continue where we stopped on Saturday because today is Monday, right? So I hope you are all having a good week, and I hope you have a really if it's going well, I hope it becomes better. But if it's not going well, I'm sure it will be better soon, and I hope it goes better. Okay, so before I introduce the main topic of what we are learning today, okay, I want us to do a quick group revision, okay, of the last lesson. So, group number 2, it was, let me just see, I think it was Seba and Wangse, okay? Can you please do, I'm going to share the screen. You can quickly do your answers for question. Remember, we were practicing how to talk about the weather, right? Using there is, there are, and it is. Okay. Let me just admit the others. Okay, so that's what we talked about in the last lesson, and then we did these exercises, and also we learned new adjectives about the weather, like how to take a noun like wind and make it an adjective by making it windy, right? So let me just admit the others. Okay. Good evening. Welcome. So that was what we learned in the last lesson. And so we did all of these exercises to practice. And group 2, it was Seba and Wangse, need to answer question number 3 and question number 4 in exercise 13.1. So are you ready today, Seba and Wangse? Are you ready? Do you remember where we stopped last Saturday? Are Seba and Wangse here? Okay. It doesn't sound like they are on the lesson. Seba, can you hear me? Okay, and Wangse also is not here. Okay, anyway, so what we can do is we'll quickly answer it. So all of the groups got their answers correct, right? So we did 1, 2, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, so this one was then missing, right? So from the words in the blue box below, which one would you say is the correct answer? So here it says it's quite word missing. The temperature is 68 degrees, right? It is 68 degrees Fahrenheit, right? So that's how you read this, degrees Fahrenheit, the temperature. So in some countries it will be this symbol with a C, then you say degrees Celsius, okay? So if it is 68 degrees Fahrenheit, then it's quite, I think it's quite freezing, right? I think the answer there is that it's quite freezing. So that is 13.3, number 3. So sorry, no, 68 degrees Fahrenheit I think is quite no, that's quite high. So it's not cold, so it's quite warm, right? So it's quite warm in there. And then what about number 4? So here it says it's 14 degrees Fahrenheit here, and it's snowy. So what is the answer? It's
ice.
Yeah, so it's ice. It's ice, right? So that's the option. Okay, so then guys, just make a note so that you don't forget, right? You must write it down. So this is degrees Fahrenheit, okay? Sometimes it's degrees Celsius. Okay. All right, very good. Now we are going to move on. Yeah, I just want to double check. So 68 is high, right? Tang, am I right? 68 is high. It's hot.
Yes.
So the answer is warm. And 14 is quite cold, right? Even in South Africa, if it's 18, I feel cold in South Africa if it's 18 degrees. So 14 is quite, I think it's icy, right? It's quite freezing. Yeah, I would say it's freezing, right? Freezing. Yeah, I mean it's close to 10. So I would say it's freezing, right? And ice also means it's cold as well, right? So when there's ice, so ice, yeah. So remember, freezing is how you feel. It's what you feel, right? So it's the weather condition, and ice is what you see, right? So you can see the ice. So the weather condition is what you feel, right? Sometimes you see it as well, but most of the time it's what you feel. So here it's 14, so it's freezing, right? So that would be the most correct answer. Okay. So, all right. Now, today I want us to talk about. We are learning something new today, okay? So we are going to learn how to make comparisons, okay? Because what happens in English is many times, let me show you an example. How do you make comparisons? Let's see. I've got 3. Okay. I've got 3, let me get another one. Yeah, I've got 3 books here, okay? Please look at me, okay? I've got 3 books here, okay? So in English, normally, if you have, when you have three, you can compare people, okay? You can compare places, and you can compare things, all right? So what do I mean by compare? Compare means you look at something and you look for the difference, right? Like what is different? So maybe they are the same thing, and then you look at what is different. Like here, this is three things and it's the same thing. So it's 3 books, right? So I have a big book, I have 3 books, right? So this book is small, right? So I'm comparing. This book is small, right? Let's use big, right? So this book is, let's say this book is big, right? And we'll say, but this book is bigger. But this book is the biggest. Okay, can you see I'm comparing? So in English, we call that comparing. So you have the word in the positive degree, okay? So big is the positive degree. Bigger is the comparative degree. And biggest is the superlative degree. So it means it's the bigger degree, okay? Let me just show you a worksheet, and we will practice this together before we continue with the main lesson. Okay, so I want to show you this work. Oops, where is the worksheet? Where is this worksheet? Okay, let me put this on the screen quickly. Let me know if you can see. Okay, there we go. All right, can you see this document? So the worksheet. Okay. So as I was explaining, right? So in English we use to compare people, things, or places, right? So you get the positive degree, the comparative degree, and the superlative, right? So the positive is normal. Comparative is like the second degree. Some people remember it easy. Some people use the first degree, second degree, and third degree, right? So they use that. That's how they remember it. But if you are able to use the correct terminology, okay, this is what it is. Okay, so you get the positive, the comparative, and the superlative degree. Okay, so as I explained, you get as I explained here. So you get big, bigger, and biggest, right? There are many grammar rules, okay, when it comes to dealing with the with the degrees of comparison, okay? So normally it depends if you are using one syllable, okay, one syllable adjectives. Okay, so there you would just have like tall, for example. The word tall is one syllable. Okay, so what happens is you add ER at the end to the comparative degree, and to the superlative degree you add EST, right? This is when you are dealing with one word syllables. when you are dealing with one word syllables ending in a single vowel, okay, and a consonant, like big, for example, you add another G. Sorry, you add another one. You double the consonant, okay, and then you add ER. So what do I mean by double the consonant? You take the last letter, you add another one, and then you add ER, okay? And then you do the same when you get to the superlative degree and you add EST, right? The same for hot, hotter, hottest, right? Here we have big, bigger, biggest, right? Don't worry about remembering all the rules right now. I'm just showing you in general, okay? We will have more opportunity to practice. So when you are then dealing with 2-syllable adjectives ending with a Y, let's say a word like happy, right? So why is it 2 syllables? Because it's happy, right? That's why. Syllable 1 is ha. Syllable 2 is P. So what happens? You take out the Y, you add an I, okay, and ER. So it becomes happier in the comparative degree, okay? So if we have three happy people, you say she's happy, she's happier, she is happiest, right? So when you get to the last one, you say happiest. And the same with syllables, 2-syllable adjectives ending with an I, with an I, like easy, okay? So happy is an example, easy is another example. What happens? We take out the Y, you add IER for the comparative degree, and you add IEST for the superlative degree, okay? And then I want to just show you when you are dealing with 2 syllables or longer, okay? So words like beautiful, okay? You do not say beautiful, beautifuler, beautifulest. No. Because the word is already very long, okay? It's got 2 syllables or more. What happens is you add you add more for the comparative degree and most for the superlative. So here we have beautiful, more beautiful, most beautiful. Even a word like expensive. Can you see it's expensive? Expensive. So that's 3 syllables, right? You say expensive, more expensive, most expensive, right? Even interesting, more interesting, most interesting, okay? So that is what happens when you are dealing with the degrees of comparison. Sometimes what happens is there are some adjectives, okay, which are irregular. So they don't follow these rules from 1 to 4, okay? They don't follow these rules. What happens here? What happens with them is they change. Some of them change completely. Like good in the positive degree, then in the comparative degree it becomes better. In the superlative degree, it becomes best, right? So it's good, better, best. Bad becomes worse in the comparative degree, and worst, okay? Worst in the superlative degree, okay? So it's bad, worse. Can you hear the difference? Worse and worst. Worst, okay? So this one does not have a T. This one has a T and no E there, okay? This one, many people make this mistake. Oh, I hear this mistake all the time. Even people that speak English, they make this mistake, okay? So the adjective is far, okay? So it's like you can say, Tang's house is far, okay? But Rokshan's house is farther, right? So here you can say farther, right? Or you can say further, right? It's the same, farther or further, okay? And in the superlative degree, you say farthest or furthest, okay? So for me, if this comes up in a test and you decide as a student you're going to use farther and farthest, I will say, okay, it's correct, okay? But if you come and you say further and farthest, or you start mixing it up, then maybe I'll take half a point out, okay? So either when you are comparing far, use further and furthest, or use farther and farthest. Don't mix the two, okay? And then this is another one, little, less, least, right? So he eats, my brother eats little food. My sister eats less food. My baby eats the least food, right? So little, less, least. Much or many becomes more and most, right? So these are some of the irregular adjectives, okay? We will have opportunity to practice all of this, okay, when you are dealing with the degrees of comparison, okay? But the first thing that you need to know, this is just the general picture, okay? You will get used to it. The first thing you need to know is that in English, when you are comparing, okay, when you are comparing, as we said, so you get this book is big, this book is bigger, this book is biggest, right? So one of the words, okay, that we use all the time in English when we are comparing, we say, we use what is the word that I'm looking for? Let me just share the right. We use than, right? I want to teach you this word today, okay? I want us to practice this word. So it's spelled, let me put it on the screen. Okay, so this is the word. Okay, so this is the word, than, okay? Please repeat after me, than.
Land.
Yes. Not, it's not then as in THEN, it's than, right? So when you say, when you have these three books, you say, this book, this book, this book is bigger than this book. Can you see? This book is bigger than. Can you see? This book is bigger than, right? And this book is smaller than this one, right? Can you see? So let's quickly practice than together in sentences, okay? I want us to, okay, let's look at examples of how than then appears in our sentences in English. So you will see we have some, let's look at sentences 1 to 8 together, okay? Look at the pictures, right? And the word options there below, okay? So here we have France, later, hotter, prettier, okay? Prettier means beautiful, more beautiful, right? So it's pretty, prettier, prettiest, right? Even here, hot, hotter, hottest. And tall, taller, tallest. So that has to do with how tall you are, right? Your height. Cold, colder, coldest, right? Early, earlier, earliest, right? So Tang is early, but for class, but Roxiang is earlier, and Wangse is the earliest, right? So it means it has to do with the time that you arrive for something in class or at work, right? So big, bigger, biggest, fast, faster, fastest, okay? Old, older, oldest, and these are just normal places, okay? Like Mont Blanc. This is an animal, an elephant, so they're just normal nouns, okay? Ice cream is also just a noun. Bike is a bicycle, right? And then fast, faster, faster, fastest. And then close, closer, closest, okay? So let's quickly look at, let's make this smaller and then we'll practice here together, okay? Let's not be afraid of making mistakes. What do you think is the answer for number 1? Look at these two people. Can you see? Let me make this a little bit bigger. Okay. Can you see we have this man is 2 people. So one is, what do you think is the missing word here? I am?
Taller.
Yes.
You are.
Yes, because we are two people. The other one, the tall man is saying, I am taller than you are, right? So that has to do with height, okay? Now, can you see how than is here? Can you see Tang? Can you see everybody? Okay?
Yes.
Because we are comparing 2 things. What about number 2? So here we have, it looks like a bus and a train. Yeah, so a train
is faster than a bus.
Yes, it has to do with speed, right? So it's the train is faster. Where is faster? There is faster than the bus. So here you can see number 3. 79 degrees Fahrenheit. I'll just say 79 degrees is what than 64 degrees? What is the answer?
Hotter.
Yeah, definitely. And number 4, what is happening here? A car
Is faster than a bike.
Yes. Can you see how easy it is, guys? Number 5. I think it's talking about the
France.
country.
France
Yeah.
is smaller than Russia.
Russia. Yeah. So France is the country, right, in Europe. Okay. And then here it says Everest. So this is the mountain, right?
Yes.
Mountain Everest is higher than Mont Blanc.
Mont
right?
Blanc.
Yes, so these are 2 tall mountains in the world, right? But Everest is, I think Everest is the highest. Is it the highest in the world? Mountain Everest, I think so.
Yes.
And then number 7.
Is earlier than 9 a.m.
Very good. And 8, a tiger is
Bigger
yeah.
than a pig.
Yes. The pig is definitely I mean, there is the tiger. Look how big the tiger is, right? And the pig is so small. It's much smaller than the tiger. Very good, right? So that's how it works, right? So if you guys want to, let's quickly look at more examples, right? So your dress is prettier. Yes, than mine. And 95 degrees is, I think, colder than 110 degrees, right? And the Sahara, so this is the Sahara Desert, right? This is in Africa. So the Sahara Desert is, I think it's warmer. It's do we have warmer here? It's hotter. I think it's hotter than the Arctic, because the Arctic is cold. Yeah, because it is very, very cold, right? So here in number 12, what do we have here? The two times. So 11 p.m. is
Later.
Yeah, much later than 3 p.m.
p.m.
Yeah. And number 13,
An elephant is bigger than a mouse.
Yes, it's bigger than a mouse, right? Number 14,
A plane is faster than a car.
very good. And 15, the
Ice cream is colder than milk.
Very good. And Mars,
Is
so these are the planets. Yeah, these are the planets. So I think Mars is, closer. Yeah, closer to Earth than Pluto, right? So you have the different planets. Mars is a planet, Earth is a planet, and Pluto is a planet. So it says here Mars is closer to Earth than Pluto. Okay? And this is a city called Athens. So it says here Athens is
older.
yes, can be older than Los Angeles because it has more history, right? It's a old city. In Athens is in Greece, right? So this is in Greece, and Los Angeles is in America. So it's a older city, right? So let's quickly look at I'm not going to do this crossword. I'm just going to ask you, what do you think number 2, what do you think the spelling here must be? You know what? I'm going to give this to the group, okay, to deal with. Okay, I'm not going to do it now, okay? Now, I'm going to skip this one. This is 15.2. Let me just make a note there. So that is 15.2. Okay. Now, remember what I was saying about when you are dealing with words that have more than how many syllables? We said that if they have 2 syllables or longer, then you use more and most, right? So here we have an example. Platinum is very expensive. It is more expensive than gold, right? Because we are comparing 2 things, right? 2 things, and they have, these 2 things have got more than 3 there are 2 syllables and longer, right? So you need to just look here. Expensive has got expensive. It's actually 3 syllables. Now here we have this painting. This painting is beautiful. It is. So we are comparing 2 paintings. We'll say it is more beautiful than. Yes. So Russia is very difficult. It is more, sorry, Russian, the language, not the country, right? Russian.
It's more difficult than
Italian.
Italian.
Yes, can you see? And so I'm going to, let's quickly look. Does everyone understand? Can you all understand? Okay, is everyone following? So Rome is very old. Okay, Rome is very old. It is
more old than my city.
No, look at this one carefully, Tang.
Old.
Old, and you are comparing 2 things. So you say older.
Older.
Yes. So it only has 1 syllable, right? And you add ER. This one you add ER, right? You just add ER, okay? I don't expect you to remember all the rules, okay, today. It's just so that you can start practicing, okay? Pizza is very tasty. It is tasty. Yes, then pasta. Yes, then pasta. And what about China? China is very large. It is large. Yes.
Larger
than Germany. Yes, it is larger than Germany. Oslo is in, I think it's in Norway. It's the capital city of Norway. So Oslo is very cold, right? It is
colder than Paris.
Yes, Paris is the capital city of France, right?
Yes.
Science is very difficult. It is
More difficult
than geography.
geography.
Yes. Monaco is very expensive. It is
More expensive than Paris.
Berlin. Very good. Berlin is also in Germany. It's a city in Germany, right?
Yes.
The mountain climbing is
Dangerous.
dangerous. It is
More dangerous than
than hiking.
hiking.
Yeah. You know hiking when you go hiking on a mountain. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, or in the bush. Yeah? So this book is very interesting. It is?
More interesting than yours.
Yes. Skiing is exciting. It is
More exciting than
jogging. Yeah, then yes, right. So can you see how it works, right? So I want to just quickly go back and I'm not going to do this now. Let me quickly show you how this works. Okay. Okay, let's do this one. Yeah, this one we'll do it as a group exercise. I want to show you this one, okay? So here you can see, remember what we said about the superlative degree, right? So that is the highest, right? Big, like biggest, hottest. Let's quickly do this one. So here you need to just remember that you are talking about extremes, right? So it's like big. That's what it means, right? So it's extreme, okay? Such as biggest and smallest, or also for long adjectives, right? So when you are talking about extremes, guys, when you are talking about extremes, you need to remember to use the most, right? When you get to the superlative degree, you don't just say most expensive, you say the most expensive, right? But we will practice that. Let's start with the easy ones. Okay, let's look at this one. So here you can see the Death Valley in California is the hottest place in the world, right? So remember here we are talking about superlatives, right? So this is the extreme, right? It's not the positive, it's not the comparative, it's the extreme. So let's look at number 1 here. The Great Wall of China is the
longest wall
in the world. Yes. Did you know that? Did you know that? All right. What about number 2? The African bush elephant is the
biggest.
Yes, it's the biggest land animal. Yes. So it is very big. These elephants are very big. Number 3, the Vatican City. Vatican City. This is in Italy. Okay, this is where all of the Catholic priests live. Okay, so it has to do with the church, the Catholic Church. Okay, and Christianity. So Vatican City is in the Vatican City is the
Most
smallest country in the world.
In the world.
Yeah. So it's just outside Italy, right? It's a very small country, and they have their own money, they have their own everything. Yeah. Look at this one. This is very interesting. Did you know this? The Burj Khalifa. Okay, this is I think it's an Arab name. It's Arabic. I think this is Arabic. It's not English. Okay, so the Burj Khalifa is the tallest, yeah, building.
Building in the world.
Yeah, because it is, I know it is in, I think it's in Dubai. It's in Dubai, in the United Arab Emirates, in Dubai, this building. Let me show you this building, the Burj Khalifa. Let's quickly look at the Burj Khalifa. I want to show you the Burj Khalifa. Okay. Yeah, it's in Dubai. It says there. Yeah, so there is. Can you see it?
Yes.
Yeah, this is it. So this is the tallest. Can you see? It looks so small, right? And it's so elegant, this building. But it's actually one of the tallest it is the tallest in the world. Wow. Okay, it's a very interesting architecture. Okay. Now let us look at the next sentence. So the Amazon, it says here, the Amazon, okay, is the what river in the world? Yeah, it's the widest river in the world, right? And here, so this is this is in where is the Amazon? The Amazon is in Latin America. It's in South America. Okay, so it goes through Brazil and all those countries in Latin America. Dolphins are the top 10 what animals? It's the dolphins are in the top 10 of the most intelligent animals in the world. Okay? Remember, here we are dealing with the extremes, right? So an intelligent has got how many adjectives? Intelligent. It's long, right? So it's definitely more than 2. So you don't say intelligentist. No. You say the most, right? The most intelligent, right? All right. So even here, right? Let's quickly practice this together. So high, highest.
Highest.
Small,
Smallest.
big,
Biggest.
far,
Fast.
farthest.
Fast.
Yes. So it's farthest or furthest, right? Farthest or furthest. Remember, let me show you how this one works. Let me show you. And I'm gonna send you, okay, if you guys can't remember everything, okay, don't worry. I did send a copy of this worksheet, okay? So you can just open the worksheet. Look there. So it's far, farther, or further, or farther, furthest, right? Can you see that, Tang?
Yes.
Okay. So let me just put this on the screen again. All right, so where did we stop? Far. Okay. So let me just
High.
high. It's the same as the example.
Highest.
Highest. Yeah.
Highest.
Yeah, you write it like that, but you pronounce it highest, right? You don't say heightest, you say highest.
Highest.
Yes. Fat, fattest.
Bestest.
Yeah, this is fat, as in someone who is, you know, when you eat too much food. So when you eat too much food, right, you become fat, right? Fat, fatter, fattest, right? Beautiful and most beautiful.
Most beautiful.
Yes.
What about number 5?
Where is number 5? Oh, that's thin.
Thin.
Yeah, to be thin is the opposite of fat, right?
No. Thinnest.
Huh? So if you are fat, then you are a very big person, right? You are a very big person. You're overweight. You eat too much food. You need to stop eating too much food, okay? Thin people, they need to eat more food. Don't you think so? Thin people are they're very slender, okay? They're very thin. Okay, so it's thin, thinner, thinnest.
Thinnest.
Yes, with 2 N's, right?
Okay.
And then let's look at more examples, guys. Let's look at more examples. So ugly. So ugly is when your face is not pretty, right? Or if your dress is, if you can have a pretty dress, or a pretty dress is lovely. Everyone likes it. But an ugly dress is like, oh no, no one likes it, right? The color is ugly. It's not attractive, right? So ugly, uglier, ugliest, right? Ugliest. Yeah, so you take out the Y, right? You take out the Y and it becomes, yeah, I-E, ugliest, yeah? So it's I-E-S-T, right? Ugliest. And clean, cleaner, cleanest, right? Dirty. So clean is like a clean house, right? And
Yes.
you get or a clean room, right? Is your room clean? Is your room always clean, or is your room dirty? So clean is the opposite of dirty. So when it's clean, it means you always keep everything neat. You put your things away, you make your bed, you wash the dishes, okay? But when it's dirty, you never put things away. Everything is a mess. You never wash it, right? So dirty, dirtier, dirtiest, right? You take away the Y, right? You take away the Y, and then you just need to replace it with the ER and the IES, right? Expensive, here we are dealing with, remember here they want the superlative. They only want the superlative. So expensive, most expensive, right? It's already long. New, newest, right?
Worst.
Newest, yes, newest. I'm going to give you a worksheet with all of the answers so you can see. I'll have the degree, the all of the positive, the comparative, and the superlative, okay, for all of these words that you are learning today. And then old, older, oldest,
Worst.
intelligent, more intelligent,
Most.
most intelligent, fast, faster, fastest, right? So it's about who is faster, right? Or what is faster. Can you see how this works, guys? So what I'm going to ask you to do is to just go back and read, okay, the worksheet I sent, okay, in the group, and then review the pages, and then in the next lesson we are going to practice some more together, okay, about the degrees of comparison. We'll practice more advanced, okay? And we will do all of the exercises that we didn't complete. So there's going to be a part 2 to this lesson. So this is part 1, and on Wednesday, we will do part 2 on this lesson, okay? Is it easy or is it difficult? The degrees of comparison. Is it easy?
What's difficult to remember the word?
Yeah, it's just, yeah, you need to just, it just takes time, right? You need to just practice and get used to it, right? So, but always just remember when you're comparing, you say than, right? My house, always use than when you are comparing two things, right? So this book is smaller than this book, right? And you say this book is big, this book is bigger, this book is the biggest, right? So when you are using two things only, you always use than, right? You say this and that is than, right? When it's just two, so that's the comparative. And when it's three, you come in and you say this, that, and that, right? So, but normally the biggest one is people give more, they with the extremes, people speak of it on its own most of the time. Like, this book is the biggest, right? For example, it's the biggest one in the room, right? Or on the table. So, but we will practice this some more, and this is good to improve your English and the way that you communicate and express yourself, okay? Even more. So I'm going to stop here for today, okay? We are going to, any questions for me before we say goodbye? Any questions?
No.
No questions. Okay, I didn't hear anyone else in the lesson today. I didn't hear Rakshang. I didn't hear Tang. I only heard Tang today. So in part 2, we're going to work with everyone else that didn't speak in the lesson today. Okay, thank you very much for your attention, everybody. Have a very good evening.
You.
Oh, and Wang say thank you very much for helping me with Mr. Freedom's number. Okay, I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And also for Sam, thank you very much, okay, for helping me with the other number. The thing is, I changed my phone and I lost information. All right.